All right, let me ask you something, and I want you to be really honest with yourself.
You totally know that feeling, don't you? That rush of morning energy. You wake up with this incredible clarity, this absolute certainty that today, yep, this is the day it all changes.
You're feeling totally motivated.
Completely focused, just ready to take on the world. And then, poof, somewhere around, I don't know, 3 p.m., it's just gone. But listen, and this is so important, you didn't suddenly get lazy. You didn't lose your drive. You didn't fail. Your strategy failed. The thing that failed was your reliance on willpower.
And that brings us to a really uncomfortable truth, kind of the whole point of this explainer. The thing that's so powerful here is the certainty. It's not that you might lose, it's that you will. Relying on willpower alone, it's a losing game from the very beginning.
All right, so let's jump into our first section here. We're going to expose what I like to call the great willpower lie. We're about to completely dismantle this idea that discipline is all about having more mental toughness than the guy next to you.
So picture this. You've got two people. Person A, they wait until they feel motivated to work out. Person B, they work out even when they really don't feel like it. Now, we're all taught to think, wow, person B just has way more willpower. But the reality? It's not about willpower. Person B just designed their life in a smarter way. They stopped trying to try harder and started using smart design.
And right there, that's the key. We have to completely redefine what discipline even is. It's not some heroic emotion you have to summon up from deep inside you. No, it's a system that you design. And you know the best part about a system? It doesn't care how you feel. It works whether you're on top of the world or you just want to crawl back into bed.
Think about this for a second. Really, if just gritting your teeth and using willpower was the answer, why do so many of us keep losing the exact same battles over and over? Why are we always restarting that diet on Monday? Why does that gym membership start collecting dust around, I don't know, February? It's a pattern, right? And that pattern is a huge clue that the strategy itself is broken.
Okay, so if we agree that relying on willpower is the problem, we've got to understand why. Why is it such a terrible strategy? Let's pop the hood and take a look at why your willpower is designed to fail.
Right, here's the dirty little secret they don't tell you in those rah-rah motivational speeches. Willpower is a limited resource. It's just like the battery on your phone. Every little decision you make, every bit of stress you feel, every time you have to be strong, it's draining that battery. And that is exactly why you reach for the junk food at night and why your productivity just tanks after a long day. Your willpower battery is dead.
And this just perfectly sums up the whole problem, doesn't it? If you keep relying on a battery that you know is going to die, you are literally building a system designed for failure. Just let that sink in for a minute. This isn't about you being weak, it's not a character flaw, it's a bad strategy, period.
All right, so if willpower is the broken strategy, what's the fix? What do we replace it with? Now, this is where things get really exciting. Let's talk about the real secret, designing your discipline.
You know, the idea here is it's laughably simple, but it is so effective. See, disciplined people don't use more force. They just engineer an easier path for themselves. They make the good habits super easy by removing all the obstacles, all the friction. And at the same time, they make the bad habits really hard by adding as much friction as they possibly can. That's it. That's the whole game.
So what does that actually look like in real life? Well, laying out your gym clothes the night before, that removes the friction of fumbling around for them in the morning. Plugging your phone in on the other side of the room, that adds a ton of friction to mindlessly scrolling in bed. And the ultimate move? Just not having junk food in the house in the first place. See, it's not that these people are more motivated, they've just made the right choice the path of least resistance.
No, seriously, just imagine that for a second. Imagine waking up and just doing the thing. No internal debate, no back and forth, I'll start tomorrow. None of that drama, just automatic action. That is the kind of freedom a good system gives you. It's not about winning the fight against yourself every day. It's about designing your life so the fight doesn't even have to happen.
Okay, let's get tactical. Enough theory. I'm gonna break this down into a super practical framework you can start using like today. Let's call it your 3-level discipline system.
Okay, level 1. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all. Environment beats willpower. Look, it is so much easier to control your surroundings than it is to control your own mind. If the cookie jar is on the counter, you're gonna eat the cookie. If your phone is buzzing next to you, you're gonna check it.
So you make your desired actions the absolute easiest things to do. You change the environment, not yourself. All right, level 2. Lower the bar until you can't fail. This is huge. So many of us quit because we try to do too much, too soon. The rule is this: make the habit so ridiculously small, it feels stupid not to do it. I'm talking 1 push-up, writing for 2 minutes. Heck, just putting on your running shoes and tying the laces. Why? Because getting started is always the hardest part. Once you're moving, momentum does the heavy lifting. And level 3, this is the one that makes it all stick for good. Identity over outcomes. This is a total game changer. You stop asking, what should I do? And you start asking, who do I want to be? Instead of saying, I'm trying to work out, you tell yourself, I am the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. You become that person, and your behavior just automatically follows that new identity.
Okay, so building the system is one thing, but making it last? That's the real challenge. There are always 2 invisible enemies just waiting to derail you: feeling overwhelmed and just having a bad day. It happens to everyone. So let's talk about how to make your system foolproof.
Here's the thing. Most people aren't lazy. They're just completely overwhelmed. They try to change everything all at once, and of course, they burn out in a week. The fix is a simple rule. 1 habit, 1 season. That's it. Pick just one thing, and focus only on that for, say, 30 or 60 days. Master it. Make it automatic. Then and only then do you even think about adding something new.
But what about those days when you're just not feeling it? You're tired, you're stressed, you mess up. What then? Here's probably the single most important rule for success in anything. Never miss twice. So you missed the gym today. Fine. Life happens. But tomorrow, missing again is not an option. See, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about how fast you get back on track.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. 5 years from now, you will be disciplined at something. That's a guarantee. The question is what? Will it be scrolling social media, or will it be writing that book? Will it be complaining, or will it be creating? The only real choice you have is this. Was that discipline designed by you, on purpose, or did it just happen to you by accident?